start of a whole new empire. They're gonna tell stories about us. I'm gonna be the new Kingpin of Gotham.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another great, epic episode of Just My Opinion Reviews. Guys, this time we are talking The Penguin that will be debuting on HBO Max September the 19th. This is season 1, episode 1, titled After Hours. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to let you know that this is going to be a spoiler-filled recap, okay? Me and my guest on the right of your screen are going to spoil this thing up, down, left, right, in, and out as if you've already seen it. That is your warning. And like I said, Lamont with Get Life Games, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Let the good people know how you feeling out there today.
I am great. It's good to be back to YouTube, and I'm so happy my first video is back with my brother, B. Avery, who so graciously invited me to come and co-ride with him. He is one of the hardest working YouTubers in all the earth, and I am grateful to be here with this brother, and it uplifts me to get these reviews out and give you guys something entertaining as well as informative. So I'm happy to be here, thankful.
Right on, man. And guys, if you love what me and Lamont has to say, you can follow us on social media. Our handles on the screen. His information is in the description box of this video. And give this guy a subscription, man. He's going to be at 1 million billion subscribers before you know it. But Lamont, let's go ahead and get into these spoilers, man. I only saw The Batman Once by Matt Reeves that came out in 2022 in theaters. And I liked the movie. I thought it was good. I thought it was decent. I was not in love with it. I remember when I did review the film, I put Batman, movie review. It's not my favorite Batman. I got a ton of comments from people just, I'm a hater, I suck, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm a loser, blah, blah, blah. I didn't say the movie was trash or it was horrible. I just said I wasn't in love with it. And I was trying to determine whether or not I wanted to rewatch that film in anticipation to this. When this movie was first announced, I was not this movie, excuse me. When this show was first announced, I was not excited about it. I really didn't care for the Elseworld Batman. I wanted everything to go to the DCEU that was, being led by Zack Snyder. And I just really wasn't excited about this. So when they was talking about the Penguin, Ben Affleck, I could not think of his name as Batman, but when they was just announcing this, Colin Farrell with this Penguin show, I like Colin Farrell in the role in the Penguin. He did a phenomenal job. I thought the performance was great. All the makeup, the prosthetics, it was really, really realistic, convincing, all that. But I just wasn't excited about the show. But then I saw the trailer. Me and Larry watched it on my channel, on my Movie News Roundup show. And I was blown away, and he was too. And I was like, man, I really do want to see this. But before we saw this first episode, I was trying to determine if I wanted to rewatch The Batman 2022 to see in preparation for this. But I decided not to. I was like, you know what? I don't want to feel like I have to do homework. Let me just go in, see if they set everything up in the beginning. And also said we can let our viewers know if it's a requirement to see the Batman before you see the Penguin. And my answer to that question is no. I think they did a great job opening up this episode 1 with how the Batman ended a couple of years ago. To be clearer, you do not have to see the Batman for this first episode to make sense. It will help. It will assist. You may enjoy it more. But overall, my first impressions of this episode 1 is I thought it was damn good. I love the intro. I thought the intro was good. The middle for me did get a little boring, and there is a particular point where I'm going to talk about and see if you feel the same, but the ending was just so strong to me, Lamont. I was like, wow, I really see how the Penguin is trying to come up in these ranks and gain some power in the streets of Gotham, and I like it. He's smarter than I thought he was. And his motivations to push him to where he ended up at the end of the episode came from sources that I didn't think were possible. And I'll go ahead and give a hint. That's from his mother, and we'll talk about that too. But the way this episode ended, man, I thought it was fantastic. One of the best things about it was the score that was coming through with all those strings. Very, very powerful character within itself. And the performances, whether you like this episode or not, whether this is your cup of tea, you cannot take away the performances from Colin Farrell in this. the sister that was playing Sophia. She did a great job. Christine Malati. I'm really looking forward to this, man. I'm glad that I decided to cover this show. I'm glad you're here too. I've just been rambling on, man, since we started this video. Where you at? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? You like the show? You hate the show? You somewhere between? What are your first general impressions of Penguin episode 1?
I only have one disagreement with B. Avery, and that was his dislike for the middle.
Okay.
I know B. Avery enjoys giving the overall rating for the end, and I will save it. But everything else he said, I 100% agree with. And I am in that audience who has never seen the Matt Reeves Batman. Never.
Oh, still to this day, right now.
Never.
Oh,
still
man.
to this day, I've never seen it. And so B. Avery is speaking truth to the light when he says you don't have to have seen the movie to pick up on this. And for those that want to get an understanding of what this thing is like, we should have never had doubted HBO and Warner Brothers because they constantly put out nothing but hits. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is another hit. I, too, didn't look forward to the Penguin. I'm thinking to myself, why do I want to see the Penguin? Like, what can you do to make this waddling MFer entertaining? Well, this show shows you how you can do that. They kind of take more of a Godfather spin on the character that is the Penguin. And this first episode, ladies and gentlemen, was a phenomenal setup. It gets you intrigued with the character, and it also puts the character in a position where you can root for the character. So I can't wait to get into this with B. Avery because this was a great first episode.
Yeah, it was, man. I like how they started it off just with the Riddler having the attack on the city, and there's now a vacuum of power. And Penguin is trying to take advantage of that. And while we're kind of getting the montage of all the news coverage, all the damage, you know, they said the suburbs, all the rich people, they're fine. You know, they was able to duck, dodge, dip and dodge, you know what I'm saying? But the poor, you know, they hungry, they out here rioting and looting. You know, that's just the norm every day now. Gang violence is running rampant, and you know this a montage of the news coverage, like I said, but they also have the camera panning around Colin Farrell, the Penguin, and he's like, let me go ahead and take advantage of this, you know, showing little clips of Carmine Falcone being murdered from the movie, but now his son Alberto is taking over and is talking trash, and the Penguin don't like that, and very impulsively, very emotionally pulls out his gun and shoots him. And I'm just like, man, what the hell are you doing? And you can tell that he didn't have no plan A, no plan B, nothing. You know, he was just making stuff up as he went along. And I'm not a gangster. I don't live this life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to sound like no expert, you know, but I'm just saying, if you're going to just, if you live a day to day to where you can just murder somebody at the drop of a dime, you got to have a way out, a way to clean up. And he didn't. He just kind of lucked out running into Victor Aguilar, you know, when they was trying to steal his rims, and was like, hey, I'm going to hire you. And that's quite interesting, right? I mean, I like the hustle mentality from the Penguin. Just like, okay, hey, I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm going to seize this opportunity. This guy was trying to rival for me, and I'm going to get him to work for me and threaten his life. And I really did like that scene, man, when he thought he was going to hit him in the back of the head with the crowbar when they had Alberto in the trunk. That was really, I believe the performance. I believe Colin Farrell. I believe the Penguin. I was like, you are really finna kill this boy. And they sold it on both sides, from his acting and the child and the little teenager, however old he was. You know, I loved it both. I'm excited right now. I'm jumping kind of far ahead, man. But going back, what did you think? What did you react? How did you react when he shot Falcone? The son, you know, and was trying to throw him down the stairs, all of that, man. How did you feel about that?
So, audience that have seen this, you can tell that Oswald has some deep insecurities about his looks and about his physical nature, man, because he gave Alberto the insight about some of his inspirations and having himself as a picture on the float going down a parade. And Alberto disrespected this man twice, talked about his face was ugly. And then he said, you think your effing face is going to be going down a float on a parade? You trying to take my organization. And that was the thing that kind of was the chip on Oz's shoulder that Alberto knocked off. And then he had to put some hot ones in him. And that's what he did. He disrespected that man who had been a loyal soldier to the family, even though B. Avery, Alberto admitted that the dad knew he was skimming money, but he didn't skim enough money that the dad fire him.
Right.
So that kind of kept him loyal. And for you to come in there and disrespect a man that your father has said is one of the hardest working in the organization the way you did, and then your dumb alcoholic butt, because folks, the son is an alcoholic. That's his Achilles heels. He's an alcoholic and he's some kind of drug addict. You done told this man your whole new plan of how you plan on taking over and pivoting from your dad, and then you're going to disrespect him. He should have known death was coming, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I thought it was rather emotional, B. Avery, because like you said, what was the plan with that? That was emotional, but the storytellers did a good job in facilitating on the spot plan after you made such a grand gesture. Yeah,
yeah. Big mistake, man. Big mistake. He got out of there though. So how do you feel about the way he recruited Mr. Victor Aguilar? Got him a little assistant / slave. It was smart, but I feel some type of way about it. You know what I'm saying? On one hand, I'm like, this is messed up, but on the other hand, I'm just like, okay, you can't just be stealing from people. I mean, all right, I got you. All right, next time, I'm gonna let you off with a warning now, but next time, I'm gonna shoot you in the foot. Don't be stealing from people. All right, you get out of here. I mean, come on, you can't expect nobody to do that. I mean, at the very least, you need to expect an ass whooping if you get caught trying to steal from somebody. That's just no stealing, robbing, or end up dead. And he could have killed them. And look, I am not rooting for violence, and I'm just like, hey, Penguin, I want you to kill him. He was stealing from you, but if I hear a news story of somebody trying to steal something from somebody else and rob them, and the victim defends themselves or their property and kills the assailant, I'm just like, hey, you shouldn't have been stealing. I don't promote violence, but if you participate in these activities, these are some of the consequences, one being death. And this one is not. You have to work for this man for however long. Who knows? Maybe the rest of his life. But yeah, how'd you feel about that, man?
Before I give you that, B. Avery, I want to just say this to you and the audience. Keep in mind that Alberto had the ring that his dad stole from Sal Maroni. I think that's the name of the crew. Keep that in mind, because that story comes back to play later on. B. Avery, I had several perspectives on basically the Penguin kidnapping a teenager. That's what he did. I mean, let's just keep this thing 100. He kidnapped a teenager, but he done it in a manner where it's almost like he was showing mercy. And on some levels, it didn't feel realistic. But on other levels, I'm kind of like B. Avery. If you're out here trying to steal somebody's rims, you kind of deserve the punishment you get. But the perspective of the Penguin being a criminal, growing up poor, that was the first inkling of them showing how we can fall in love with a bad protagonist, because he went through the same thing. So he had mercy on this kid being a bad guy because he's a damn bad guy. And so that made it more believable. But then you got the whole, okay, you taking a minority. It was a bunch of white dudes there that you could have made your Jeffrey Butler driving the damn car, but you didn't. You made the black dude the Jeffrey Butler. You kidnapped him. But throughout the story, everything that I felt that I didn't like the way that setup happened, the story paid it off. Yeah,
yeah. I'll give you that. And I just have to say, kind of just jumping to the end, I like the relationship that they built. I don't think the Penguin is going to, Oswald is going to make him lick his boot, shine his shoes, wipe my ass. Nope. I don't think he's going to do anything like that. He just is like, hey, I'm trying to come up with power. I have an opportunity for an assistant right here. I'm going to show him the ropes. And this man's world has turned around at 180 in just a matter of minutes. You know, you go from stealing rims to, you know, becoming the right-hand man to one of the potentially biggest crime bosses, you know, in the city. You know, and so that's quite interesting right there. And it seemed like he Victor had a bit of respect for him too. Like he just wasn't too reluctant to follow his orders or to follow him around. Seemed like he was like, hell yeah, now I have purpose in life, value. You know, I have something to look forward to, something to motivate me to wake up each morning. Whether, excuse me, in the underground or not, you know, I'm not trying to promote the lifestyle, but I'm just saying it seems like it's a come up for him, and so. Just quite interesting development right there. And also,
he earned it though, B. Avery. He earned it. Like you kind of hit on it, but Victor earned that respect in the way he came through to basically save Oswald in the very end. He earned that respect. And Oswald, like I said, I think Oswald sees himself in Victor when he was Victor's age, just, you know, being poor and just trying to make it on the streets.
I'm muted. That's true, man. The amount of trust that he had as well, you know, in Victor, you know, I mean, within 10 seconds, hey, man, help me carry his body. And at first I was like, okay, does he not know a body's in there? But he was like, yeah, watch the head. And, you know, I'm just like, wow, you know, he was like, I own you. And he basically did. And, you know, he played the room, but he read the room very, very well. I also liked, you know, he went to his friend, I think her name was Eve, like, hey, I need an alibi. You know, just say I was here 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you know, so that's cool right there. That was nice.
Speaking of Eve, B. Avery.
What's up?
Eve. I know what she do for a living, but 2 thumbs up for Eve.
What does she do for a living?
Oh, you didn't know what she do for a living?
Is she an escort? Is that what she does?
Yeah. And the nice way to say it on YouTube is she performs loving services.
Okay. Before I forget, bro, did you realize that was Berto Colon in the episode from Power?
Yes, Tejada Daddy. Yeah. His name is Castillo.
Yeah, Mr. Castillo.
He's the number one. Yeah, the number one security guard for crazy ass Sophie.
You know, I also thought that the mother in this for Oswald, the penguin, Mr. Cobblepot, was the mother from Power as well, Tommy's mom. I don't think it is, but at first glance, I was like, wait a minute. No. Is that okay? I knew you would know more than me.
No.
He said,
but they have the same tone and tenor. And she basically the only difference between her and Tommy's mama is Tommy's mama was addicted to the drugs, and so far we don't know if his mom is addicted to anything. But they both pushed their kids. They both was kind of like, you know, lighting fires underneath their kids in different ways to be you, be who you really are.
Yeah. What do you think about the mom, man? We did get a lot of her. You know, he came in, hey, don't say nothing. I never brought nobody over. I mean, you taking somebody to your mama house? To your mama house? To your mama house, cuz?
Yeah.
I mean, he read Mr. Victor well. Like, he is going to do whatever I say. You know, if he tries to touch my mom in any way, I'll kill him, bring her back to life, and do it all over again 10 times. But he took him over to his mama house. How did you like the mom? You know, how'd you feel? I have some comments.
I like the mom. I felt like he needed his mama's word. Now, granted, folks, we're talking about a protagonist here who is doing evil things. And at the moment, his confidence was being riddled.
Wait. You mean a protagonist as a good guy or antagonist bad guy?
I'm saying a protagonist can be either one, but the method for him being a protagonist is he's doing evil things. Okay. That's what I'm saying. And in this story, he was kind of having a moment of insecurity, going crazy about what is he going to do with his mama because people are going to be coming for her. And she just basically got in his face, told him, look, dude, I'm tough as nails, and I ain't raised no pussy boys. I think those were her exact quotes.
Right.
I didn't raise no pussy boys, and you need to get yourself together and prepare to take over the city. This is what you've been wanting to do. I'm not taking my butt nowhere. Now, it was funny when she seen that black dude. when she seen Vic.
Yeah.
Now that was some mess, B. Avery, because I'm sitting here like, dude, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But she got over it quick because Oz came and he smoothed it all over. But I think we better keep eyes on that mom because I think they have set the stage for her to be a character that is going to be reassuring and kind of be, whenever he's on hard times, Oz speaking, she's going to lift him up. But that is always a character who's set up to be X and cause a deeper moment for characters. And I think that's what we're going to see with the mama.
You know what? I never thought about that, but you're right. She could end up dead, and that'll put a flame under the penguin's ass for him to do something super duper crazy. But so that, interesting, man. They may happen. I mean, we know people are gonna die in this. You know, a lot of them.
Right.
So I mean, you know, and that would make things more dramatic. Not saying I want it to happen, but I wouldn't be mad if it did. Yeah, but she's the one that set him on his way, man. That gave him the air for his wings. Just like, you know, like you said, don't be a pussy boy. You need to be a strong man. Do this. This is what you always wanted. And he's like, you know what? You know, she's right. I'm going to do what I need to do. And while he was on this plan, man, you know, there's consequences for everything. I was just kind of thinking like, damn, he got away with it. He got rid of the body, you know, but the sister. So, okay, this is also crazy. Lamont, why would this dude try to come in there? Well, he is really impulsive. You know why? Because I was just about to ask you, when he was at the Falcone residence, the mansion, where Victor waiting on the outside, that was like, hey, man, we're shutting you down. You know, we got to consolidate. Right. We got all these issues. I'm sorry, you know, but we're shutting you down. I was going to ask, why would he just try to come in and take over Falcone's plan, Alberto's plan, which was Carmine's plan, you know, and not think somebody's gonna be like, bro, you didn't come up with this. But it was a moment of desperation, you know, because he was being shut down. It was still impulsive, but what did he think was gonna happen? I guess he just, you know, the acting was real well because he did not know that Sophia was gonna be let out of Arkham. Because maybe if she was still locked up, he could have got away with this. You know, but he was like, oh, you're out now and heard everything I had to say. And that's there you go. What I was gonna say, Lamont, that made the episode a little boring to me was the appearance of Sophia. Now, she did something towards the end of the episode to where I like, and we'll talk about this, but around her coming into the episode, I got really bored and uninterested until she just called him out for the second time, like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Where is my brother? And why are you trying to tell our bosses or our colleagues the exact same plan that my brother had? What's going on? I think you did it, basically. Go ahead and spill the beans. That's when things got better for me. But up until then, man, I was just like, okay, I like the acting in this show, in this episode, but I'm kind of losing interest. It's not really getting me excited. You know, where are you at on all that? You know, intro to Sophia, him getting shut down, moments of desperation, him being impulsive. Where you at?
The Falcones that was left in the mansion, they wasn't trying to hear none of it.
Yeah.
Literally. And I understand where he was coming from because prior to going to that meeting, he had just left his organization, had them put on, don't you call it purple, you call it Purple Rain Plum, like Prince would be driving in the car, put on his plum suit, had his plum Maserati. And then as he's trying to fast talk his way into the hearts of the Falcone leadership, she walks in. And the way they did the camera pan with her in the background, and he just turned around and looked at her, I said, oh, bad word. This B is something. I don't know who she is. I don't know what she's about. And then they finally let us know that she was the sister of Alberto. And I didn't think much of it other than them saying that she came out of Arkham. And that would be kind of the lure where if you're not a fan of DC Comics, you wouldn't understand what it means to go to Arkham. To go to Arkham, you have got to be the craziest of the crazies, the baddest of the bad guys to go to Arkham. So I'm intrigued at the fact that she's coming out of Arkham and she looked like she could be a runway model, but she looks crazy as hell. I mean, she looked crazy as a bag of cats. And if you've never had a bag with 3 cats in it, go try that one day. And then when she gets outside, That's when it got real serious because she noticed the trunk of his car had been shot.
Yeah.
And she tells this man, let's go to lunch. I know a spot. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to lunch with no woman like this with this kind of security detail. What?
Yeah.
Really?
Body in the trunk.
And she looks, she looks crazy.
Bro.
She looks crazy.
She does.
So for me, it just heightened the escalation of the show at that moment. I was really, really involved even more when she popped up. So I enjoyed the character introduction.
Yeah, it evolved for me too when she was outside and, you know, like, hey, what happened to her? Cause I was like, man, she is not letting this go. She is not letting this slide. Nope. She is not dumb. You know, and nope. I was like, okay, this is getting good right here. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, he gonna have to, you know, get out of here. And he's always getting caught at the very beginning of the episode. You know, when he was trying to take the jewels, hey, I just wanted to come and grab them for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, man. He getting caught right there. He getting caught from the sister. That foot, that limp of his, man. You see the foot, bro? The foot when he took off his.
Oh my God,
man,
bro,
what happened?
It looked like he slid to first base and his foot kept going and the base didn't keep going with him because everything is pushed to the left.
That's awful. That's awful.
Yeah,
that's awful. I can't remember if that happened in the actual movie or not, but geez Louise, I don't wish that on nobody unless they're evil. Yeah, but I mean, he keep getting caught, man. And you're right, bro. She did look cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, seriously. And then towards the end, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but you know, she looked freaking psychopath, and you know, she had me nervous.
You know what they say about them crazy women, my brother.
What I think I do. But you know, I'm good. I'm good.
It's a PG show.
I don't need any of that. I'll pass. I will pass. But
you mean to tell me you don't want to go spend a night with her to see how she got herself put in Arkham?
I do not need any of that in my life. But y'all let us know in the comment section if you do. But we got to talk about Salvatore Maroni, played by Clancy Brown, Mr. Clancy. You know, he's in prison. You know, he still got the power. I like this actor. I think he's pretty well. You know, I'm entertained every time he pops on something big screen, small screen. And at this point, I'm just saying to myself, Lamont, the Penguin talking about he want to take over. But he don't got no power. You know, he don't got no pull. Ain't nobody listening to him. However, towards the end of this little interaction, he puts the ring on the table and the tables are flipped. I'm like, oh, this man is playing chess. This man is playing triple D, quadruple ducker, 5 times 12 chess over here. You know what I'm saying? XD version, IMAX, Dolby chess. You know, I'm like, wow, that was I like that right there. Yes, I know it's his, but how did you get it? I mean, the come up from that little move right there was gigantic. And it was smart. And I didn't see it coming. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see the ending coming. But yeah, man, I was like, at this point, I was like, he's pretty capable. The Penguin is going to be able to climb that ladder and get this power, you know? And while this is genius, it still wasn't revealed until later what he was actually doing. But Lamont, where was you in this whole scene right here? How did you feel? How did you take it? What did you like, dislike, all that?
This was more character building about Oz and how when his back was pushed against the wall, he started realizing, as B. Avery said, how to play chess, not checkers. And the issue with Oz is everybody know he's a little dirty. Even Maroni even said in this whole speech, I know, and I don't trust people who go to the highest bidder or something like that. I'm paraphrasing y'all.
When your loyalty is for sale.
Yeah. So he's just basically looking at him like, you ain't nothing but a corner boy who go to the highest bidder. Until that man stood up and put the ring on the table that Sal lost to the daddy, Falcone. And in order to get that ring, Sal knows there's only a handful of ways he could have got that ring, which all are good in terms of what it means for how devious, how smart, and how cunning the Penguin is. So at some point in time, B. Avery, if we don't see Sal help him, what he just did to Sal is going to help boost him one way or the other one. It's going to help Penguin out.
Yeah, man. And right after this, I got to say, Penguin, he can move. He has Sophia's henchman chasing after him. You know, he pulls up. He hops in the trunk. That was smart. Hey, I don't know if I would have thought about that. Yeah. Let me leave the door open by this crowd. Hop in the trunk. They're going to think I ran in there and then I can just slip away his big ass. You know, that was very smart. I got to give it to him. But he was still caught. And I like that he was caught too. We don't have stupid villains like, hey, you know, they like a Scooby-Doo Saturday morning cartoon type thing. You know, that would be really, really annoying. But did he end up killing the guy? Did he end up shooting the guy? No, he got hit by a bus. Yeah, he got hit by the bus full of school children. Yeah, crazy. But it got knocked out. Go ahead.
You had to be thinking what I was thinking.
What's that?
Okay, why are you standing there spending so much time looking at this guy dead underneath that bus instead of getting your waddling penguin ass in the car and driving away?
I don't know. I didn't think about that. I think he was just really shocked at what was going on. Like, wow, I survived. And I don't know. Maybe he just didn't have that killer instinct driving him. Was he standing there that long?
What?
Yeah.
He stood there. B, you stood there. You shouldn't even, once you've seen him die, why are we taking extra seconds to look around? Get in that car. It was only one guy. You got chased by three. Get in that car and pull away. Me personally, when they started chasing him, I loved the escalation of the music and the way he was driving. Yeah. That was just on point. And just how much of a tizzy Sophia was in trying to get him. That chase was a great, quick chase for me. Well done. But Penguin, you know you can't run fast. So get your ass in that car and let the Maserati do the work for you. Go, brother, go. Yeah, that was. I mean, I got to go back and look at that part. I don't know. He got knocked out. I thought he could put forth a good effort, you know, but I could be wrong. I gotta go back and revisit. But, geez, man, was that a bodysuit that he was in, or how you think they did the scene with him being naked, tortured in the chair? Oh, definitely bodysuit. Colin Farrell is no stranger to these bodysuits. No stranger to him. And by the way, shout out to makeup. Yeah. And for putting him in that suit, making that scar look believable, making the face look believable. The accent, shout out to Colin Farrell for the accent. Shout out to everybody for them accents, okay? Those like deep New Jersey Italian accents, y'all are killing it with that. And Colin Farrell, I got to give it up to him, man. He is nailing this role. The speech he gave Vic is an Emmy-winning speech, kind of toward the end. And I'll wait because I think you might go back there. But he gave Vic a speech toward the end about how, you know, they both come from poor backgrounds, blah, blah, blah. That's an Emmy-winning speech right there, B. Avery. So shout out to Colin Farrell.
Yeah, man. And I was going to say, I was really loving the episode. Yeah, shout out to everybody who said. I mean, I was loving it more and more, where she was like, she was like, well, hey, who am I going to believe? This guy over here said that you were shooting at him for him trying to steal your rims the same night that Vic went missing. I mean, that Alberto went missing. Right. So should I believe you or him? And then she just blew his head off. I was like, golly, that's cold-blooded right there. You know that little man didn't do nothing, had nothing to do with this. You could have let him live. But the acting from her in that scene was incredible, bro. Like, I was really afraid of her. Like, I was like, wow, this sister is nuts. You know, like she really will kill you and bring you back to life. It's like, I told you I'll do it. I told you, you know. And so it was good. Acting was phenomenal, man. Go ahead.
I didn't know to be scared of, or do I want to take her somewhere and give her a big hug?
No, I don't. She can stay away from me, man. You got that. But you know that you silly man. When they Vic put the brick on the pedal and drove the body in there, man. That was so smart. That was one thing I did not like. But I mean, I did love, you know, he had the payback, you know, had the body in the trunk, you know, had the ring, and now they made it look like Maroni was up to this, that he did it. You know, and I think that was so smart. You didn't have to say it though. What I didn't like towards the end was when Vic and Penguin were sitting on the stoop or the back of the car or whatever, and they just verbally said like, yeah. And now since, you know, you cut the ring off and put it in the trunk, now it's going to look like Maroni was up to it and we had nothing to do with it. I'm like, you didn't have to just spoon feed us dialogue to make us, it was that obvious. I mean, that may be a small nitpick, but that just, I was like, that's just unnecessary. We're not stupid. You disagree?
No, yeah, there's a lot of people you got to spoon feed that kind of stuff to, B. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Look, like me and you, more you than me, because you are accredited by several organizations to be a movie reviewer and TV show reviewer. A lot of people miss things like that. Now, if you you could have done it and had it be more of a mystery, but there are a lot of people that probably didn't see that coming for whatever the reason. So I don't have a problem with it as someone who does the review and is trying to break it into Hollywood. There are some people that would feel the way you feel. Honestly, like, okay, don't give them too much, you know, save some mystery. But me and you review movies and TV shows of all genres, whether they're super complex or they super simple. And I felt like the way they set this series up with this first episode and that dialogue, I felt like that was kind of more in the middle.
Okay. But how did you feel about the conclusion of this, man? The framing, putting it on Maroni, her crazy ass performance, body in the trunk. You can go ahead and talk on the speech, man. How'd you feel about the end of the episode?
B, amazing. I mean, I'm amazed because I had no intention of watching this. Like, I'm like, how are you going to make Penguin's character interesting? And they did it through the use of making it kind of like a Godfather, Boss Burroughs type of show. And I didn't see that coming. And not only did they do that, but they made this first episode, in my opinion, one of the best pilot episodes I've ever seen in a TV show. Definitely in the top 5. And
like that?
Definitely in the top, straight like that. Definitely in the top 5. And I love them paying off the conversation they had about mixing the slush puppies in the beginning when Vic first met Oz. They paid that off because Vic was mixing his slushy, which supposedly probably was supposed to be a symbol for them coming together, combining their forces together to listen to each other. And I loved how Vic saved the day, but we didn't know if Vic was going to save the day because when Oz got chased, he was calling Vic. Yeah. Bring. Hello, you have reached Victor Aguilar. I'm not here and I ain't trying to be here. And then after they cut off some of that whale fat meat off of Oz, that's when the whole thing went down. She's seen her brother and now she has no choice but to think it was Sal and his people. Mm-hmm. And like I said, either way you look at it, it's a come up for Oz because when Sal finds out that's how the ring got to him, he's probably going to look at Oz like, dude, you the man. But then there's going to be heat on Sal because they are going to be after the family. But in the end, B. Avery, it might not matter to Sal because Sal has been wanting to get revenge in the first place. So that was very smart. And I think we're in for a wild ride with Victor and Penguin. But I have a question for you, B. Avery. I do have a question.
What's up?
Do you think we're going to see Batman at all appear at the very end, even if it's just they show the bat signal up in the sky from the carnage Penguin is going to do to the city?
I think we'll get a bat signal, yeah. Do I think Batman will show up? No. Matt Reeves already said he wouldn't.
Okay.
You know, at the most, it may be like a little silhouette bat symbol towards the end of the season, toward the end of the episode. They did say that this is going to lead directly into the Batman 2. And a lot of speculation is that the Batman 2 will be, the villain will be like the Court of Owls. So we may have some sprinkling of that in this as well. I don't know, but that would be interesting. Are those your final thoughts, sir?
For the most part, shout out to Dolly Parton and 9 to 5, the way they ended the show. I thought that was well done. And they did have one Easter egg that y'all might have caught. The name of Oz's club was the Iceberg. And what's the place where most penguins spend most of their time at? On the iceberg.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is our recap, our review for The Penguin on HBO. Season 1, Episode 1, titled After Hours. This is debuting Thursday, September the 19th. So Episode 2 will be debuting on, each episode is going to come out now on Sundays. So Episode 2 will be out Sunday night, September 29th. Not this coming Sunday, but the next Sunday after that. I will be here in some capacity, giving you guys a recap reaction, something like that. Lamont, you're more than welcome to join me, my brother. But thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. I do appreciate it. Before we head out of here, man, let the people know what you got going on your channel.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am back for a little bit.
And move over so they can see your face in the camera.
Oh, yeah. Let me slide. Slide to the right. Sliding to the wrong way. There we go.
There you go.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back for a little bit. Power is back on. So I'll be doing some of those reviews. We've got a big election coming up. I'll be doing a little bit of politics with Larry. And still raising money for my first film. And Lamont Tyson is getting ready to get into trying to have his own film studio so that some of the mess we go through as creators in the space, I won't have to deal with that if I've got my own film studio. So check me out. Go check out the links on my channel. Support a brother. Let's keep uplifting Black film and Black reviewers that always shine a light on our films. Check me out. I'm here for you.
Alrighty, man. And check me out too, guys. Well, you're already here. Subscribe. You know, I got movie reviews, spoiler reviews, series reviews, movie news roundup show, superhero comic book show, and just a bunch of other crazy random stuff that I'm pretty sure you will enjoy. But guys, again, we just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery, that's Lamont, and that's just our opinion. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.